Life Saving Victoria has helped Sri Lanka in drowning prevention for nearly 5 years. It's with great pleasure I'd like to introduce Mevan and Rhiannan in our studios this morning. Good morning and welcome to our program.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Remember, Sri Lanka is, we have got so much of people being drowning and all that. How can you solve this problem?
Well, in Sri Lanka, you have about 1,200 people drowning each year, and of that, we have researched recorded drownings is about 850. Now, that is about 10 times the number of people drowning in Victoria, and probably about 4 or 5 times the number of people drowning in the whole of Australia. Now, you think Sri Lanka is a small country; it's a major problem.
Yeah.
And people drown in the beach, in dams, in falling into wells. So drowning is all over. So how to address it is to take a very broad approach, and we will, I think, maybe cover some of that as part of this discussion.
Okay, I got a few points here, Mevan. National Plan for Drowning Prevention and Water Safety.
So it's important to have a broad approach to preventing drowning, because people can drown at the beach, a child can drown at home, at a well. So drowning is a very broad problem. So that's why you have to have a planned approach to it that has many strategies to address drowning. So one is life-saving services, so lifeguards at the beach. Another one at home is educating parents of the problem and protecting children. Another one is helping children to learn to swim. So there are many aspects that need to come together to prevent drowning and increase water safety. So Sri Lanka has many beaches that can be actually utilized much better for tourists and all those things. So that's why you must have a plan in how you address this problem. Okay. And what we have done is help Sri Lanka develop this plan, similar to what we have done in Australia and Victoria.
Okay. Now, another thing which I want to ask you was training for life-saving services.
So, Sri Lanka has a life-saving association. They have, I think, close to 600 volunteers and other personnel in Coast Guard, Navy, all working in life-saving as lifeguards. So, what we have done over the past 5 years is help train them in modern life-saving techniques, how to swim across a current or a bit more, given them equipment, rescue boards and other life-saving boats equipment, and really help them progress. So we started at the lowest level, the bronze medallion, and we have worked our way up to the gold level. And in Sri Lanka, there are many talented volunteers and lifesavers, so very skilled as well, and we have just helped them improve their skills.
Okay. During this period, you would have helped a few thousands?
Correct. So we ourselves have trained over 1,000 people, but more importantly, the 1,000 people we have trained have gone on and trained others.
Okay.
So in total, in the last 5 years, there have been about 15,000 people trained in life saving. So which for us is a very important aspect.
Okay. Now, Rhiannan, teaching survival swimming to children and adults, is that a easy process?
So the reason that we've decided to teach survival swimming to children is because they are at an ideal age to learn a lifelong skill. Survival swimming is a little different to learning freestyle and backstroke. It's based on the premise that it's preparing a child or a person for an unexpected entry into the water so that they can float on their back, move through the water to a point of safety and get out safely. It also teaches them basic emergency response and rescues if they need to rescue a family member or another friend, but being safe themselves. So we have the help of the Life Saving Association of Sri Lanka, and we also have Candle Aid, which is a non-profit organisation over there who are facilitating delivery of that program. We're hoping firstly to get 1,000 children underway with lessons, and so far we've got a couple of hundred that have passed the program and now able to look after themselves in and around water.
Thank you. Now, Mevan, coming back to about the drowning prevention, improving water safety for tourism. That's quite a big topic to talk about.
Yes, so on the one side, we are addressing a problem that is drowning.
Yeah.
In doing so, we are also addressing an opportunity that in Sri Lanka you have many beaches, you have many lakes, and you have many tourists. So we are increasing the utilization of those waterways for tourism. So for example, we are working with hotels to create a model beach operations where a guest can go to the hotel, know that there are lifeguards at the beach, and go to that beach safely and recreate. So if an Australian from here is going to one of these beaches, they can see the red and yellow flags, they can see lifeguards. So all of a sudden the tourism opportunity has increased, and also helping create public beaches where not only hotels, broadly the country can develop and offer more attractions to tourists based off the natural water assets we have.
Finally, now all these things, all this equipment is quite expensive, and the first aid kits and whatnot. Who is supplying that? Is it yours? Club is supplying them, or?
So in Victoria, we have 57 life-saving clubs across the state. If you go to our website www.lsv.com.au, there are many opportunities for even Sri Lankans here to get involved in life-saving in Victoria. So through those clubs, there are about 30,000 members that form part of those clubs, and there are about 10,000 active life-saving volunteers. And we are an emergency service in Victoria, so we have support from the Department of Justice to have our own equipment. Now, every so often we change equipment, so we have been able to donate those saved second-hand equipment to Sri Lanka over the past 5 years. So we have sent boats that have been used in flood rescue last month, rescue tubes, surfboards, first aid equipment, and this time when we are going, we are taking 50 defibrillators, so that help in emergency situations, which have been donated by the Metropolitan Fire Brigade. So we have been very fortunate that Transco Freight have provided us support for shipping and helping us take these donated goods to Sri Lanka.
Anyway, when is your next trip?
So we depart on the 18th, and we are taking a team of 12 along with our partners here, YMCA Victoria, who are going to help develop the swim teachers. And in Sri Lanka this time we are working with the Disaster Management Center, with the Life Saving Association, the Coast Guard, the Navy, and we also some of the hotels.
Okay. Anyway, let me thank you and keep up the good work, and let me wish you all the very best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.